Hi, today I want to discuss a basic concept in small business management. That is, you may not be wrong, but you are always at fault. Let me start with an example. A year and a half ago, somebody came to get a machine fixed. I told them it would be 5 days and $200. I fixed it in 2 days. I called him, I left voicemails 3 times on 3 separate days and 3 separate times a day. He never picked up. 2 weeks later, he comes in the store roaring mad. Why are you holding my computer hostage? Why did nobody call me? Why is this place that have no communication? Blah, blah, blah. And I said, sir, is this your name? And he said, yes. And I go, sir, is this your phone number? And he said, yes. So I confirmed that the name on his voicemail message was indeed him and that I was calling the right number. And he takes his machine back. He doesn't listen to anything I have to say. And he leaves this terrible, terrible 1-star review that I was lucky enough to have deleted by Yelp for him cursing and screaming and bitching about things that were just inappropriate. And he was being an asshole. He was being a dick. And I still thought that I failed. My staff looked at me at the time and thought, what are you talking about? You did nothing wrong. You did nothing wrong. You called him at the number he gave you. You called him numerous times and you finished the job early. What the fuck is wrong with you? That's what they all thought. That's what they all looked at me and said. And they were right. I did nothing wrong. At the same time, I am still at fault. Allow me to explain. As a small business owner, I am responsible for my own success. I define success as an absence of failure, which means that if I want to be successful, I have to keep myself from failing. I want to be successful, which means that I don't want to fail. And when somebody leaves here and they're pissed off for whatever reason, I have failed. So let's look at how I could see the situation. I could either see it as I did nothing wrong, I'm not changing because I did nothing wrong, because I don't perceive that I did anything wrong. I could have tunnel vision and look at things through my very, very single-minded viewpoint, which is how most people see the world. Or I could see it from a pragmatic point of view, from somebody else's point of view, and see how I actually was at fault. And I can accept, as somebody who's secure in myself as a human being and secure in my business, what I did that made it wrong. In 2012, most people don't actually listen to their fucking voicemail, and a lot of people don't even pick up their goddamn phone. What they do is they read their text messages and their email. So if I had a system in place that would have emailed or text messaged him, he would have been very, very happy. And he would have came in 2 days, and he would have picked up his machine and smiled. Is that guy an arrogant douchebag? Yes, he fucking is. Could I have kept him from being an angry douchebag through having a different system? Yes. I failed. So I thought, how could I have fixed this failure? How can I internalize this failure so that I'm in control of it? If you're responsible for your success, that means you're responsible for preventing failure. Anything that you are responsible for, you are in control of. When you are responsible for something, you are typically in control of it. I want to be in control of my failure. I don't want other motherfuckers to be in control of my failure. I don't want my business's success to be based on somebody else. I want my business's success to be based on me. As I said, I believe success is based on an absence of failure. So if I take responsibility for my failure, that means that somebody else isn't. I'm not going to say that guy's a dick, there's nothing you could have done. Or, oh damn Yelp, or oh damn these bad reviews, they ruin small businesses, like all those crying little bitch-ass pansies on the internet who are making lawsuits against Yelp and their customers do. What I do is I internalize any and all failure and make it my fault. I want to control everything. You cannot control other people, but what you can do is you can control yourself. And once you control yourself, you control the world. This is a very powerful statement that I heard a long time ago. And it's what inspired me to start my own business from the ground up, doing things my way. Because I wanted to be in control of my own failure. I wanted to control as much as humanly possible when it came to my success in life. And the way I control that is through taking responsibility for my failure. So what I did is I implemented a ticket system that SMSs and emails people as soon as something's done. Again, in 2012 and 13, nobody wants to call up their voicemail and get, you have 16 new voice messages. To listen to your voice messages, press 1. You have 1 new message at 7:15 a.m. from 9:17. Like, nobody wants to deal with that bullshit to get the voicemail 16. So a lot of people don't listen to it. So I set up a system, as I said, that gets around this. Now, had I done that, I would have been in control of him. Am I in control of how he acts? No. Can I control every douchebag? No. While through social engineering and persuasiveness, I can charmingly lead people to the idea that they're being a piece of fucking dog shit I cannot control them. I cannot keep them from being a piece of dog shit. But what I can do is I can control myself. And I can control how my business operates. To the point where they don't have an opportunity to be the piece of shit that they are. So that's what I did. And since then, I haven't had a single motherfucker call and say, you never told me it was done. Because they get a phone call, they get an SMS, and they get an email. And to avoid all three of these things, you have to be a complete effing retard. Now, I believe that you cannot control everything. But I do believe that you can control yourself. And if you control yourself, you control the world. The best part of being a small business owner is that you are responsible for your own success. When you work for another company, you may do something correctly, but somebody else, some boss, some owner is responsible for whether or not you advance. Somebody else is responsible for your own success. So regardless of how well you do, there is a limit to how far you can go. When you own your own business, there is no limit to how far you can go. There is no limit. A lot of repair shops have a problem with arrogance. A lot of repair shops think that they are always right, that the way they view things is always right. It's very easy to become arrogant in this business because we're often dealing with people who don't believe us. We're often dealing with people who are relying on the fact that we are smarter than them in a particular area. And it's, as I said in the arrogance video, it's very easy to become arrogant over time. And when you're arrogant, you're going to believe that you're never at fault. And there is a serious problem with this. If you don't believe you're at fault, you can't change whatever it is that is being done wrong. So I encourage you to internalize all your failure. Anytime somebody leaves unhappy, every time something goes wrong, every time an order goes wrong, don't just say, that could have never worked out. I wish that could have worked, but this person did this wrong. No. Figure out how you're at fault. Figure out what it is you did wrong, because you cannot control everything else in the world. You cannot control everything in the world. You cannot control the world. But what you can control is yourself. And through controlling yourself, you have control over the world. Hopefully this has helped you.